I guess my faith means to me to accept God into every area of my life, to acknowledge that He is part of everything I do and everything that happens to me. It brings me a great peace to have something to cling to that's not of this world, something that promises so much greatness and that is beyond our belief here. I've been a Catholic for 3 years, and in those 3 years I have really found that I have met great people and been open to so many great opportunities here to spread Christ's love, and for me faith is a real fulfillment of my soul. I feel like God is really with me here on earth, and that my life has a purpose that means so much more than just being here on earth. It brings me great peace to be part of the Catholic faith and to know that I have a God who is with me always.
For me, faith is very deep. Faith is something that is the core of our being. It's what we believe in, it's what we hold close to our hearts, and it's what we show in our actions. Jesus displayed this very well when He came to earth, showing us this example of faith. I believe strongly that faith is to be shown in action, in relationships, in friendships, and is also enacted out through the sacraments in which the Catholic Church has provided for us. I think also that faith is this compelling, simplistic yet complicated concept that those that don't believe sometimes can be confused. But what we need to do in that is show that faith at its very core is all that Jesus talked about. And all He talked about, in essence, was relationship, friendship, healthy dialogue, and looking out for our fellow man.
Faith for me is about being connected with God, I guess, having that relationship, knowing that He is always with you in everything that you do, and even if you forget, He's still there with you. For a period of time, I guess I broke away from faith. I thought I'd lost it, but to find it again was actually quite easy. It's like I never lost it. I guess part of the reason why you could lose your faith is, for me, I was surrounded by people that weren't quite strong in their faith, and so I kind of thought, well, I'll just give up and I just won't bother going to church or anything like that. But I also think part of the reason why I got back into it was my heritage as being Irish Roman Catholic, so we're really strong in our faith. We fight for what we believe in, and I'll always have that as my background. So yeah.
To me, faith is not just about believing, but faith is about practicing what you believe. It's all about sharing God's love. It's about exemplifying God's love in everything that we do, say and think. This could range from receiving all the sacraments, during doing charity works, exemplifying the simple acts of kindness. So all in all, it's all about being of service to God and loving one another.
I guess faith for me is really about trust, about trusting in God, even when it seems like, you know, it might hurt or it might not be able to do something for me. Martin Luther King Jr. actually has a quote about faith, that faith is about taking the first step even when you can't see the whole staircase. And I think that really does mean something to me, because it's not a blind faith. It's not as though you can't see anything, but you can see that first step. And so it's grounded in something really substantial. So faith for me is being able to trust in God at all times, when it feels good, when it's working out for you, and even at times where you don't understand where God's taking you. You may not be able to understand right now, but you know that God is taking you by the hand and He's not going to abandon you and leave you somewhere.
Faith is something that is hard to really explain. It's deep and meaningful for me. I've come from a very strong Catholic family. My grandfather was Polish and always had a picture of Blessed JP2 on the wall, and he's and I actually look up to him. I really admire Blessed JP2, and I really especially admire Pope Francis now. He's amazing. Just the simple things, he's just going back to what actually is important in our faith. The thing is with faith is it's confusing because the Catholic Church, I think, gets wrapped up in all the politics and all complications in life. But I think they just need to get back to the point of what Jesus' meaning was of life, His teachings, His beliefs. So I think that's what we need to do. We need to go back to what Jesus taught us. Jesus, as Pope Francis is doing, which is doing an amazing job.
I think faith for me is something that is every day. It's part of my life. It's part of how I am friends with how I enjoy my friendships, how I live out being loving, being caring, being kind. You don't just put it on the side. It's not just something you do on a Sunday, you go to Mass. It's something that comes to every part of your life. What you do as a job, how you even put clothes on, what you wear. Faith to me is something extraordinary and something that can't really be explained in words. And for me, faith is it just is.
For me, faith is the main part of faith for me, and the part of faith that I really love the most is having a big community of people around you that share your beliefs and share your customs and what you find valuable in life, and being able to share that with the people around you in a big sort of family. And because with the Catholic faith in the Catholic communities that you do have such a big family. No matter where you go, you can drop into any parish and you can go in and you can have a chat to anyone. What faith is to me though is having those beliefs and having that knowledge that you have that love and that trust in you that has been given to you without you having to have done anything. You can go to and trust them with any of your problems and for help or just for company, and knowing that no matter where you go around the world, the Catholic community will always be there to be right beside you. You might meet someone for the first time, but having a chat with them and you can become best friends with them almost instantly. Faith to me is also just being able to have that knowledge that you have someone who just loves you so much. And I guess for me, it's still something that I'm still trying to get my grasps around. But just having the knowledge that such a thing exists is just so beautiful, and that is replicated in the sort of communities within the Catholic communities around Australia and around the world.
For me, I feel like the faith is my own personal connection, the way I unite and join in this beautiful love that God has for me is my personal thing. And I feel like the way I go about it is in many ways, because I feel like, first of all, I'm a human being and God is God. And so how am I supposed to connect with this God in my own sinful nature, me being a human being? And so there are many aspects to my faith, I feel like. Whether you go into a physiological body, work out how things are for you as a human being, as a man, and see how God has redeemed each and every aspect of that, and see how you fit in the picture. Because the faith is not that complicated. It's just a connection between you and God, and how you talk to Him, how you speak with Him, how you communicate with Him is how your story of your life will tell. And obviously we all want to go to heaven, and so our faith is our journey in life, where we connect with God who tells us what we want, what He wants from us.
My faith to me is very important. I think it's what defines me. I can't imagine my life without faith. I'm so grateful to God for this gift of faith, and for the gift of faith that my parents have passed on to me from when I was born till now. It came a point in my life where I had to make the decision to make my parents' faith my own, and I'm so glad and I thank God for giving me the grace to make that decision and to keep on living this faith in God. And also I try to practice it every day in my life, in whatever I do.
It's important to me to pray every morning before the sun comes up, to ask God's blessing on the day, and especially, I suppose, for those people I may not know who may be rising in sorrow or with troubles to face. I think it's important to use faith to reach out to others, those that we know and those who we don't know, and it gives me a great peace to be able to spread that love to others through the power of prayer.
Faith as well is something that can affect people in ways that are beyond words. Faith can be seen in a smile. I know quite often people will say, "You look so happy today." It's because I have a faith. And it's because I have a faith that extends beyond words. I have a faith that extends beyond myself. Because my faith, in part, is my own, but it is also in my Creator. And it is in that I have this confidence that faith is the core of what we need to continue to learn and understand, so that we can show that to others, not just in words, but also in actions.
Well, I guess traditionally it's through prayer, and I don't just mean just doing the Our Father or saying Hail Mary. The way I practice it is sort of an internal thing. I will have a conversation with God every day, and I will always say what I'm thankful for, and I will, at the end of the day, make sure that I remember all the things that I'm grateful for in this life. And doing that kind of repetition makes me feel like I'm in connection with God, so that's the way that I practice.
To me, prayer is very important. I think it's very important that we have a close relationship with our God, and communication is very important with any relationship, and prayer is a means of communicating with God, and it's the way that we enhance our relationship with Him. Prayer to me is underestimated. It's one of the most powerful things that we can do on this earth. Prayer, so to speak, can move mountains, and we can help so many people out with our prayers, praying the rosary, saying a short prayer every morning, waking up, just thanking God for the opportunities that we get in life, and of course saying a prayer once again at night, just for again praising and thanking Him for the wonderful blessings that we have, and for keeping us in mind and keeping us protected and loved.
How I live out my faith is really, I guess for me, about constant conversion, constantly trying to conform myself more and more to where God wants me to be, trying to stop and listen to God and develop that relationship with Him. And hopefully through that inner conversion, that's really able to permeate out of me, and be able to be a witness to others, to help them in their conversion, to help them discover God and be able to have a relationship with Him, and be able to participate in that absolute mind-blowing love that is the love that God has for us.
And the way that I practice my faith is through music. I love music, I love singing. I'm learning the guitar, which is like an added bonus. I love a lot because it'll just expand my music even more. You know, being part of a youth parish at Glenbrook, an amazing youth band. They just like, it's just like when we sing and when we just sing those songs, when people leave, they're just so amazed by, like, you know, like how much passion, how much faith we're just pumping out to these to the people out there.
Faith needs to go into every aspect, and I want to share my faith with those young people, to high school students, to get them to understand why it's so important to me and why it should be important to them. I even wear it on my sleeves, literally, it's on my shirt. But it's more about showing people that you're caring and not preaching to everyone, but showing it how you act. And I think Pope Francis does that really, really well when he tells people to look after the poor, the hungry. And so for me, a lot has to do with social justice and being kind to everyone and everyone you meet, so they understand who God is through your actions and not just through your words.
The way I like to practice out my faith is as a youth leader at my local parish. I lead some of the young people in our parish in sort of, you know, most Friday nights we come around and we just play games and have a lot of fun, but being able to give these kids, you know, a warm, safe, happy environment and a Catholic environment, where they can come and, you know, be proud of their faith. You know, they can come and pray and they don't have to sort of be scared of the fact, and they can talk about whatever. And they don't have to be scared of that at all. They can be completely comfortable in this, you know, fun environment, and just getting to be with these kids and help, you know, in a way mold their lives and, you know, make their lives more interesting, make their lives a happier place, a more fun place, and just giving them, like I said, just giving them a fun, happy, warm, safe place for them to come and be.
For him. So in my living of my life, I make sure there's lots of prayer, lots of personal meditation. Walking is such an amazing thing. From World Youth Day, you realize how much you walk, how much you experience the world around you. You see things, and that becomes part of your faith. You see things and you reflect upon that, and it becomes the personal connection that links you as a human being to God as a divine, holy, loving being.
You know, sometimes it's not easy, but with God's help, you know, I find that He helps me when I pray, and He gets me through whatever it is. Yeah, I try to put it in my work, with friends, family, relatives, whoever I meet. You find people asking you, can you please pray for me? Which is a sign, you know, that people can see something different in you. Yeah, faith is so important to me, and I thank God for this gift of faith.